Hi, Magdi.
Oh, hello, Kinel. Yes.
Uh, not not so much a question, more kind of an observation um, from I guess, from my personal perspective. I know that's the wrong perspective to take. Um, I understand intellectually, conceptually what we're speaking about here, and I feel like I can engage with the ideas quite well. But when I look within my personal experience, I still feel like I'm trying to use the mind to find myself. And kind of the image comes up of awareness is like a hand, and the mind body is like a glove, and you put your hand inside the glove and you're trying to find the hand. And obviously, that's the wrong place to look. The hand is just a hand. The hand knows it's a hand. But I guess, from my limited experience, I'm struggling to disidentify from the glove, from the mind, and just almost believe that I am the hand itself.
Well, how do you define the mind? Are you referring to thoughts, for example? When you say,
Yeah, it
yes, so you're thinking about consciousness, and uh, and via your thinking about consciousness, you're you're hoping to get to know consciousness, right? In a way, yes.
hmm.
So, I mean, thinking about consciousness is a good thing to do because you're reflecting about reality. What is it in this moment which is real? So in a way, the use of the mind in the direction of truth is a good direction. And so we contemplate, we explore, we read the scriptures, we ponder. It's a contemplation. We're using the mind to explore what is the reality of our experience. Is the reality of my experience the passing thoughts? Is the reality of my experience the many bodily sensations that appear? Is the reality of my experience the memories that I have and uh, or the beliefs that I have about various things, which can change. The beliefs can change. It may take some time. In some cases, it's very quick. So it's okay to use the mind in the contemplation of truth. But the understanding about truth is a moment where the mind has served its purpose and it collapses in the understanding. In the moment of understanding, in the aha moment, oh, I get it. I am not that which I perceive. Oh, I get it. It's like you've asked, you've already used the mind, you've explored in your own way, and at some moment you come to that aha moment. And at that moment, you have the experience of consciousness. Consciousness is not something that I'm perceiving. That's an experience. It's a revelation about consciousness. And it's only consciousness that's revealing itself in a way, flashing, showing off. So in the moment of understanding, there is no mind. So in this understanding is experiential. It's visceral. It's uh, a collapse of the 3D dimension into the cosmic realm, as a way of speaking. Okay. Now, it's okay to rely on the mind, even to, let's say, believe that if I continue to contemplate and explore and wonder about truth, that this is helpful. It's okay. There's no issue with that. But I would encourage you, for example, that when you consider that by using the mind in the contemplation of truth, I will come to the understanding of truth, I would invite you to also ask yourself, what is this I? When you say I, what are we referring to? Because that's also part of the contemplation. What am I referring to when I say I will come to the understanding? You see, there's only one I, one real I. There are many images of I's, many different personal ideas and images we have of ourselves that change over time and over age, over experience. But there's only one reality, one I, one awareness. So in that moment, when you ask yourself, what is this I? You come to, oh, I refers to the reality right now, which is, whatever it is, it's a formless awareness. Boom. That's a moment of understanding. That's a glimpse. You see. So the contemplation is paved with glimpses. And the mind is a good friend when used in the direction of exploration of truth and the contemplation and the inquiry. So there's one last point, that understanding is experiential, it's not conceptual. Whatever is conceptual, it means it's something that's appearing, it is still the process of contemplation. So we're using concepts, we're using thoughts, we're using our inner intuition, we're using our capacity to distinguish, we're using the reasoning, right? So you could say that's conceptual, but the understanding is never conceptual, it's always experiential. Before the understanding and after the understanding, there is a difference. Before the understanding, the mind has a certain setup. After the understanding, the mind has a slightly different setup. Something has shifted. And of course, sometimes we share our understanding, meaning we express using the mind now again, how things have changed, how they were before and how they are now. So we're basically trying to put words around our experience, which is always a new experience. Now my experience is such and such and such. And of course, the description of the understanding is just a description of the understanding, which is fine. It's an attempt to share and to display or to formulate the impact of the understanding on the body-mind.
And I guess in the meantime, there's a question of patience as well, of I guess, as you're saying, before the understanding comes from the perspective of the mind itself.
Patience goes hand in hand with impatience. Which is a different thing from being available to the unknown.
Mm.
Outside of time, in being, in presence. Because you are that which you seek, you see. So just to be available to that which you are, not that which you will become, that which will be revealed to you. You are you already. You are the revelation. To be not knowing, and to trust your understanding and live your understanding. Invite yourself to live your understanding as being, as presence, as universal being, universal presence. Keeping in mind that looking for a future is illusion. And patience relates to the future and to the past. And who, who, who is it that is being patient?
Mm.
You, it's a habit to be looking beyond presence, beyond being, for whatever, for, it. Um, you are not 160, 170 pound. You're not. Right now, you're not 170, 160 pounds, whatever. You're not. You could say the body is, but who cares? You're not sitting on a chair right now. This is appearing to you. Whatever this is appearing to you. You are this formless awareness. You're aware of the sensation of a chair or whatever. It is now no words for sensations. But then the mind says, oh, okay, that's a chair. Fine, that's fine. Not a problem. We're not going to argue with that. And the fact that you're aware of a sensation in this moment doesn't mean anything about you. Right? It's an old habit to define yourself I don't know, in so many different ways. It's an old memory, old pattern, an old download. It has nothing to do with your direct experience in this moment. So you go to your direct experience in the moment. Boom, direct. I am that. Whatever that is. Everything is myself. Why? Because everything that you perceive, everything that you can think of, everything that you experience is at zero distance from you. You're not experiencing Magdi or this conversation. He's in California and I'm in whatever. That's not your experience. And even when you experience Magdi's in California and I'm not, that very thought, you're experiencing that thought at zero distance from yourself. So experientially, you're always experiencing yourself. And then the mind has a narrative, which is also yourself. Saying, oh, this is this is that, this is there, this is there, this is blue, this is green, this is tall, this is short. But then the mind also says, this is me and this is not me. And now the bullshit starts. This is me and this is not me. This is a story. It's a story of me and not me. 50 million pages, book. It's still being written. There is a printing machine, printing 7 billion thoughts a second. And continuing this book, me and not me. But not me, what is that? What is no I, not I? It's a concept. It's okay. We choose I is this and not I is you. Okay, bravo, bravo, very nice. Hey, okay, we got it now, we got it. It's just a model, a mind game that has nothing to do with reality, has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, and I guess it's that habit of believing the narrative of the mind over the experience.
Yeah.
Is again, I want to say the sticking point, but I guess that's not what I mean. That I guess that's the distraction. That's the illusion. Is believing that
Believing
narrative.
the me narrative, yeah.
Mm.
It's juicy.
Mm.
Oh, God, you know what my father did to me? Oh, God, I gotta tell you. Oh, but you don't know, he did this and that, and my brother too. It's juicy.
It's like watching the news or talk about politics. It's just so it just drags you in, even if you don't want to.
Right. I mean, look at the billions of dollars that are made on, I don't know, what is called, those People magazine, or whatever yeah, it's amazing. We loved gossip. I remember being with this family. I was a guest for a few days. Oh my God. It was an endless gossip. That was it. That was it. It was gossip. You had meals, you gossiped, you had another meal, you gossiped, another meal, you gossiped, then you went to bed. It was exhausting. A nightmare. I couldn't do it. But we love to bring back the old stuff and flip it. And we flip it again. And let's flip it this way. And then I'm going to flip it again. Now we feel, okay, somehow we feel okay, but pretty miserable. Deep down, is misery still there? See, and then we shelve it for a moment, and we pick up something else. Sometimes we don't even shelve it; we just stay with that. For years, this is called depression. I know it's called all sorts of psychological problems have to do 100% with the past, nothing to do with presence. Health and wealth are in being. Abundance, peace, freedom is in being, not in the world, not in the mind, not in the body, in the source. Yeah, so you can distinguish. That's an important thing for you to distinguish when you are now engaging in getting entertained or excited by the me narrative, even if it's a negative one, being engaged in it, versus seeing that this process is a dead-end process and letting it go and just resting as being without a goal. Because the goal is achieved in being.
And I guess the other question that keeps nagging me is, in light of all of that, on the one hand, as we were saying earlier, presence is everywhere, it's all the time, it's infinite. But at the same time, this in some ways feels like a evolutionary process, a maturation process. So in the same way as you kind of outgrow the news, you also eventually outgrow the me narrative. But I don't know if that's a helpful way of looking at it.
No, there is a gradual process and there is a sudden process. It's both. There is it's like you take an aspirin because you have a headache. There's a gradual process where the headache is leaving and has left you, and then there is a sudden moment where there's, oh, there's no headache. So like the rose is blooming even when it's a bud, and it blooms and say, oh, it's bloomed, but it's actually been blooming all through, all along. The perfume of the rose was being processed until it filled the entire space. So I'm available to the gradual and to the sudden. And there is many glimpses of understanding, and the scenery changes post understanding, post glimpse and post glimpse and post glimpse. And yes, there is a sort of a gradual process. At the same time, understanding is not in time, it's not gradual. So yes, it's both gradual and instantaneous. It takes care of itself. Just follow your love for truth, wherever it takes you. The path of happiness and celebration and compassion, and living as that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, it's clear to me in a way that my mind doesn't understand, but my mind is still trying to understand. So it almost feels like an impossible task. It's just kind of the dog chasing his tail. But yeah, no,
The mind,
it's yeah,
the mind never understands. It's the mind gets affected by the understanding, but understanding belongs to God. It comes from God to God. So the mind can become more and more obedient as a result of the understanding, more and more harmonious as a result of the understanding. Don't give too much power to the mind or my mind. Trust universal mind.
yes, brilliant. Thank you very much, Magdi. Really appreciate that.
Okay.